Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the HG Infra Engineering Limited Q4 FY23 earnings conference call hosted by Go India Advisors. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Sana Kapoor from Go India Advisors. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Faizan. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to HG Infra Engineering Limited earnings call to discuss the Q4 and FY23 results. We have on the call Mr. Harendra Singh, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Arvind Khandelwal, President Strategy, and Mr. Rajiv Mishra, Chief Financial Officer. We must remind you that the discussion on today's call may include forward-looking statements and must be therefore viewed in conjunction with the risks that the company faces. May I now request Mr. Harendra Singh to take us through the company's business outlook and performance, subsequent to which we will open the floor for Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sana. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everyone to the Q4 and FY23 earnings call. I hope you all are well and have got the chance to view the investors' presentation and the results that were uploaded on the exchanges. I am pleased to announce that with the grace of God, this year has been phenomenal for us, right from diversification of our order book by securing 3 non-road projects this year, followed by successfully entering into a share purchase agreement for monetizing of our 4 HAM projects, which would further strengthen our balance sheet. Furthermore, we have strengthened our position in the highway and road sector with the 2 successful HAM projects wins for FY23. The company has established outstanding performance in FY23 across all areas. Let me start with the yearly financial performance of the company. In FY23, the standalone overall revenue was rupees 4,419 crore, which increased by 22.2% YOY from 3,615 crore in FY22. The EBITDA for FY23 was 710 crore rupees, showing a year-on-year growth of 21.5% with an EBITDA margin of 16.1%. The PAT margins for FY23 was 9.5%, and the profit after tax for the period FY23 is rupees 422 crores, which is an increase from rupees 339 crores FY22. Before I move on to the operational and the detailed financial numbers of the company, let me share a few updates on the infrastructure sector to establish the business opportunities in the years to come. Talking of roads, the central government intends to accelerate the construction of roads in FY24 with awarding of new projects of 12,000 to 12,500 odd kilometers this year. Along with focus on the project completion ahead of general election is expected to boost execution in FY24. MoRTH's target to build 45 kilometers of roadways each day of FY24. This implies construction of around 16,000 kilometers of road in a year, which will be our record high. MoRTH plans to initiate the second phase of Bharatmala Pariyojana soon. And railways, again, the capital expenditure in the railway sector has been consistently increasing over the past 4 years and is expected to reach a projected amount of 2.5 lakh crore in the FY23. The government aiming to upgrade the redevelopment of 1,275 odd stations primarily through the EPC mode under the Amrit Bharat scheme. The government has allocated a budget of 98,000 crore for the modernization and expansion of airports over the next 5 years. Of this budget, 60,000 crore will be used to enhance the existing airport, while 38,000 crore has been set aside for the development of new greenfield airports. The world's fastest growing aviation market aims to boost the number of airports to 220 by 2025 from the current 148. It involves greenfield projects, new terminals, and makeover of the existing airports. The water, again, where the Jal Jeevan mission is quite impressive. With increased budgetary allocation, the priority has the priority being accorded by the Government of India to provide safe drinking water to the rural households, we as a company see abundant business opportunity to diversify and look forward to get some more projects in these front too. Now I will like to share the operational updates on order book, project execution and other significant events. As of FY23, our order book has reached rupees 12,595 crores. This is a bit correction in the investor presentation. We have corrected because there are two projects which was having a GST correction. So it is 12,595 crores with an order inflow of rupees 8,650 crores during the year. We have established our footprints in 11 states with the EPC segment accounting for 55% and the HAM segment accounting for 45%. We would further like to grow our order book in this financial year, majorly from roads and highways segment, but we would like to further extend our presence in other sectors too, including water, railways and other opportunities. During the year, we have secured 3 HAM projects and 3 non-road projects, which I would like to mention apart from the Ganga Expressway projects of Adani. The Concall Ring Road project, there is a HAM project in the state of Haryana worth 997 crores. 2 HAM projects in Varanasi, Ranchi, Kolkata Highway, that is package 13 and 10 in the state of Jharkhand, worth 925 crores and 1303 crores respectively. Delhi Metro DMRC EPC project valued at 412 crores, that is inclusive of EPC. RVNL new railway line project in Bilaspur, that is in Himachal Pradesh, that is 466 crores, that is again inclusive of EPC, GST, sorry. North Central Railway has awarded new project of Kanpur railway station in the state of Uttar Pradesh, that is 655 crores, that is inclusive of GST. I will now touch upon the progress of ongoing projects. Talking of EPC projects, with regards to Ganga Expressway, we have executed the project around 12.9%. The Urban Extension Road package, that is a Kerala-Khanjawala project in Delhi, execution is around 53%. In the Neemrangla-Tonpur project, that is EPC and HI, the execution stood at 8.4%. The execution progress of Adani Mancherial project is at 1.4%, where we have already received the PCOD in the month of December. DV package 9 execution progress stood at 91.4%. We have already applied for COD very recently. HAM projects where the execution states that the Raipur-Visakhapatnam Orissa package 5 and package 6 are at 33.4 and 88.3% respectively. They are moving quite well as per the schedule. The execution status of Raipur-Visakhapatnam AP1 package is 38.8%. The execution status of Khammam-Devarapalle package 1 and 2 is 6 and 16% respectively. The Rewari bypass project package 4 is already 94% completed and we already applied the PCOD. We have received certain completion certificate during the year. We received the completion certificate for NHI DV package 8, DV package 4, IRB Hapur Moradabad project, Adani Mancherial project, and 2 small Rajasthan EPC projects, namely the Kundal Jhadol and Bhavi Kingsway. This is a very significant milestone which we just reached. That is monetization of 4 projects. Since past few months, we were continuously under discussion with the prospective investors to monetize our initial 4 HAM projects, that is Gurgaon Sona, Rewari Ateli Narnaul and Rewari Bypass. So it's a pleasure to inform you that finally we have signed share purchase agreement with Highway Infrastructure Trust, which is supported by KKR, in the first week of May only, where HG will be selling 100% stake in all these 4 wholly subsidiaries. The enterprise value for the transaction is rupees 1,394 crore, having an equity value of 531 crore. The valuation of the deal is around 1.55 times the price to book, which is higher than 1.3 to the 1.4 expected as guided by the management earlier. Equity and debt commitment for all 4 assets are at 343 crore and 996 crore respectively. The entire transaction will be completed in 2 tranches, where First tranche will include 3 initial HAM projects where we already achieved the completion, and second tranche will include Rewari bypass project, for which final completion approval is expected by September. Completion of the sale of this expectation from first tranche, which will happen after the satisfaction of the condition precedents set out in the share purchase agreement, which includes authority, third party and other regulatory approvals and certain contractual commitments. We believe this deal at a strong valuation will be going to strengthen the balance sheet of the company and will help the company to release capital for future growth. Diversification of order book along with monetization of HAM projects can give more positive triggers for the company in future. Now I'd like to invite Rajiv Mishra, our CFO, to highlight the quarter and last year's financial performance of the company.
Thank you, sir. Let me give you the key updates on the financials. In FY23, the standalone overall revenue was 4,419 crores, which increased by 22.2% year-on-year growth from 3,615 crores in FY22. At console level, the revenue was 4,622 crores as compared to 3,751 in FY22, with year-on-year growth of 23.2%. At standalone level, the EBITDA for FY23 was 710 crores, with YOY growth of 21.5% against 60, and at console level, the EBITDA was rupees 895 crores versus year-on-year growth of 26.1%. The PAT margins for FY23 at standalone level was 9.5%, and the PAT for the period FY23 was 421 crores, vis-a-vis 339 crores in FY22. At console level, the PAT was rupees 493 crores versus 380 crores in FY22, with YOY growth of 29.8%. On the standalone basis, the gross debt of the company was 504 crores, which included working capital debt of 39 crores, term loan and current maturities and the trade limits of 368 crores and NCD of 97 crores. At the console level, the gross debt was 1,907 crores, which included the project debt of 1,403 crores. The company continues to remain and maintain an order book ratio of 2.9 times. For all the 12 HAM projects, the total equity requirement anticipated till FY26 stood at rupees 1,612 crores. Out of this, an investment of 736 crore has been done as on March 23, and a projection of Invest V project for 440 crores, which is anticipated in this remaining financial year FY24. Coming to the quarterly financial performance, on standalone basis, in Q4, the company achieved a standalone top line of 1,470 crores vis-a-vis 1,026 crore. In terms of the EBITDA, the company achieved 238 crores with an EBITDA margin of 16.2% for the said quarter. The profit before tax for Q2 FY23 amounted to 200 crores, representing a growth of 64.8% YOY. The PAT also rose to 148 crores, indicating a YOY growth of 62.1%. On the console basis, the company has achieved a revenue of 1,535 crores compared to Q4 of last year. Regarding the EBITDA, the company recorded 297 crores margin of 19.3%. Furthermore, the profit before tax for Q4 FY23 is to 231, and PAT also experienced a YOY increase of 117 crores, reflecting a growth of 64.4%. We are happy to share that the company's performance over the last 5 years has been exceptionally good, with a 5-year CAGR for revenue of 26%, EBITDA touching to 28%, and PAT at 38%. The ROC and ROE increased to 30% and 24% respectively. The company has worked dedicated to reduce the net working capital cycle to 23 days in FY23 as compared to 46 days in FY19. I would like to hand over the call to Mr. Harendraji for further future guidance and the business opportunities.
Thank you, Rajiv. Let me enlighten the forum for the way ahead. The HG has laid the groundwork for its expansion phase by emphasizing operational efficiency and effectiveness, cost optimization, and timely project execution. The company anticipates securing orders worth 8,000 to 9,000 crore in FY24 to maintain the book-to-bill ratio of more than 2.5x. Furthermore, there is a strong NHAI bid of around 1,10,000 crores, which is in pipeline this year. In other sectors, the new projects in railways, we can expect the 15,000 crores to be bidded, where we already target for in metro, and they are all yet to be bidded. So, which gives us the huge opportunities to scale our business and order book. We continue to stress the significance of diversification, and as evidenced by our recent order wins for 3 non-road projects, we aim to have 20 to 25% of our order book comprising non-road projects within the next 2-3 years. The floor is now open for question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir, and congratulations on a consistent performance and a very, very strong track record. So my question is, sir, on the guidance for FY24. Can you please provide us what do you expect the revenue and the margin for FY24 and the order inflow?
So order inflow already we have just touched upon that we are expecting about 8,000 to 9,000 crores of orders, which again, if I can tentatively, I can just break it out. We have 5,000 odd crores of HAM projects, which tentatively would be targeting to look upon this year, and about 1,500 odd crores of EPC projects from NHAI or other HAM, the highway projects only. Balance of about say 2,000 odd crores likely to we are targeting for the other than road sectors. As far as execution is concerned, I can just go into the breakup of the total orders in hand. We are already under execution orders 5 HAM projects, majorly 5 HAM projects. It's 3,000 crores of order, out of which we are expecting to execute 1,800 crores during the year. The NHAI EPC project, that is majorly 2. One is the Delhi UER project, and the second is the Nelamangala-Tumkur project, where we expect that during the year we will be doing 850 odd crores of execution. And the Ganga Expressway project, around we are expecting some 2,000 crores of execution, where it's around 3,900 odd crores of balance work is there. And this 400 crores of execution we are expecting from 3 of the rail non-highway projects, or railway or rail station projects like that. And 100 odd crores of execution is tentatively from other small leftover works. This taking together is coming around say about 20 to 22% say year on year, say rather 23%.
Sir, second question was on the monetization. If I remember correctly, I think you are getting 5.3 billion, 530 crore for an investment of around 300 odd crore. Is the number right?
It's 343 crore to be very specific.
Okay, understood, sir. Thirdly, sir, for the tendering of road for the FY23, I think was slightly on the lower side. However, the HAM proportion was much higher. You did mention that 1.1 trillion order is in the pipeline. Is this tender as of now open for bidding, in a sense open for bidding, and we expect this number to increase as we complete FY24? And what is the HAM proportion in this pipeline?
So what you are talking, I think you are talking of the bidding pipeline of NHAI.
Yes, NHAI only.
That has been indicated as already being given as a guidance from NHAI and Ministry that they are all looking for awarding this much of size of orders. So almost about 4,500 to 5,000 kilometers from NHAI and balancing from both.
So my question was, this 1.1 trillion number looks to be slightly on the lower side for the industry.
So I couldn't get so what you want to repeat, please?
No. My question was, sir, Is this 1.1 trillion number? I think it's on the lower side. We used to do 1.5, 1.6 trillion.
No, say what actually we have estimated at is what we would be aiming upon to. We are not considering those projects for where we actually, as far as geographically, we would not be interested for.
Understood.
So like last year, we bidded for almost 72,000 crores of orders, or bids from NHAI. So this year, we are looking at about 110,000 crores to be bidded for all NHAI projects.
Understood, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management is able to address questions from all participants in the conference, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Should you have a follow-up question, we would request you to rejoin the question queue. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Parikshit Kandpal from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Harinderji. Congratulations on the deal and exceptional year FY23.
Mr. Kandpal, the audio is muffled from your line. Please use the handset mode.
Hello, is it better now?
Yeah.
Yes, I was saying, sir, congratulations on the monetization of these 4 HAM assets and an exceptional year in terms of execution. So my first question is on the diversification. So we got 3 projects this year on the railways and metro. So did we bid for any water projects, because a lot of our competitors have got water projects, and we have been planning, strategizing to bid for water projects. So if you can just enlighten us that how much was the bid we have put in the water segment in FY23, and what are the plans for FY24?
Thank you very much for your good wishes, Parikshit. And this year we bidded for 5 more projects of water, 3 in Rajasthan, state of Rajasthan, so 2 are in the state of MP. But definitely we could not in any of the projects, because our estimation, which we actually have calculated, we stood about L4 to L5 range. So it's not that we are not pursuing this particular opportunity. There is a huge potential in this particular nearby states like MP and even UP and Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, of course, there were many bids were about to be bidded or awarded. But of late, I think very recently it has been decided they will be awarded, in the subsequent part of this financial year, I think post-election. So we are keeping a very watch on this particular bidding opportunity, and we will be doing so.
Okay. My second question is on the HAM portfolio. So out of 12 HAM assets, 4 has been monetized. The balanced 8 HAM assets, do you have any kind of understanding with KKR that in future whether they'll have a ROFO on our assets or we'll retain the option of exploring it out with other partners as well? So how will the strategy be working out there in terms of future monetization in the portfolio?
See, the understanding has been very clear. Ultimately, it has to be a good association from any of your parts. They are having the backup of their fund management, and we are having the backup, our DNA of our EPC. So this is the understanding where we have actually looking beyond that after 4 HAM projects. Suppose that if we want to, whatever we continue to develop or construct, we would be looking at, but definitely it all depends upon the technical due diligence, other due diligence, other factors which really matter, where the valuation is also there. But we believe that there is a strong relationship which is going to be continuing in future.
Okay. And do we think to extend this relationship beyond roads, like maybe in TBCB or power sector, like the KKR has present, or this will largely be restricted to the road segment?
But very recently it has been concluded for a highway, but they have showed the interest in the company that we can look beyond even wherever you would be interested in other sector other than the highway sector even. But I cannot comment right now.
Okay. And just the last question to Rajiv sir. Rajiv sir, if you can give a breakup of, so out of the 12 HAM projects, 4 is already the investor equity is already done. So balance 8 projects, what is the total investment in equity? What is the balance requirement over the next till FY26? Year-wise, if you can give us.
The total requirement of all these projects in the equity was 16,120, out of which we have invested, 735 we have invested in till March. And out of the projects, almost 440 we have to invest in this FY24. And for the remaining, we have already configured the projections to 359, which is required in FY25 for the remaining projects, which are all under execution in 8 projects.
So you said 440 crores in FY24 and 359 in FY25?
That is required.
Okay, 359 in FY25, 440 in FY24, and balance in FY26, right?
Yes, 76 odd crores.
76 odd crores. Okay, sir. Thank you and wish you all the best. And again, congratulations on the great deal which you have closed. Thank you.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for my question and congratulations on the good set of numbers and the closure of the deal. Sir, my question is on the projects of this Kamran Devrapalli package 1 and 2. So this quarter in Q4 we haven't seen any execution, and also the Tumkur project also we saw a significantly low execution. So any reason what is happening on these 3 projects, sir?
Sure. I think in you're talking of Kamran Devrapalli package 1 and 2.
1 and 2, yes, sir.
So the execution in quarter 4 of this particular is say around 21 crore and 48 crore rupees respectively in KD 1 and 2. This is again because in this project there has been quite a big variation which is actually been encountered because of canal irrigation department. They are asking for, so almost 50% of the land has got affected. Because of that, there's a certain approval is likely to come from NHAI, whether they are going for this variation or not. So this is why I think the execution has been at a slower pace, but I don't believe that it is going to have effect for much longer time. So this is going to be resolved very soon, and we will be picking back to the normal trend of this milestone which we will be looking at. And Nirmaga Tumkur also there has been a small variation which is likely to be there because it is in 2 phases. Where is the first service road being constructed for the first phase, and the second phase of 18 months is the main carriageway to be constructed. So then service road and main carriageway, they are looking at the combination where whatever we complete in the service road, it can be parallelly started. So there is certain there's an approval which is likely to come from NHA.
So basically, sir, in the KD 1 and 2, you said that the variation approval will come. So what could be the variation? Like it will be on the higher side?
Yeah, definitely it is on the higher side. There are 2 kinds of variation. One is the usage of pond ash. In this particular where the NTPC has already called the bids and invited the tenders for transportation of fly ash, that we also bid into that as we did for Mancherial project. But for sure, I think all the variations are on positive side. It's not on negative.
So when can we expect a smooth execution to pick up in KD 1 and 2?
Execution is already on. It's not that execution is not going on at all. It's a standstill. Everything is moving on well on the as per the milestone. We will be achieving them.
So these 21 crore and 41 crore are still unbilled, hence the revenue has not
No.
been
Total billed revenue which did during the year because we didn't. It's all billed revenue. This 21.85, 48.6.
And sir, this even this Tumkur also should start positively, as you said. The variation will be coming in soon.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, on the EBITDA and the gross margin, we have seen significant improvement. So any reason for this improvement this quarter, Q4, or because of the normal process?
It's a normal trend. It's not that anything which is actually has added into this margin. It's a very small where you can see the range of where employee cost and the cost of material being used. So the OPM has increased. OPM being increased, so the EBITDA has showed the improvement. That is why.
So the margin guidance remains at what, 15.5, 16%? What is your view?
Sorry?
The EBITDA margin guidance for next couple of years?
Yes, tentatively as we expect out of these projects which we already started the execution and we would be starting the execution, it's roughly around the range of 15%.
Yes, 15%. So going forward, we can see some decline in margin probably because of the change in mix.
Decline? No, I'm saying 16%.
16%. Okay, sorry, sir. Actually, from CapEx front, we have done a significant CapEx this year, if at all. we can highlight almost gross CapEx was almost 340 crores, right, sir? So any CapEx view on going forward?
Yeah, this year I think you can see the increase in the term loan because of that only. This addition of 220 crores of term loan being added during the year. See, the closing balance is 333 crores of term loan. There is hardly any increase in the OD limits and NCD, etc. But this has been increased because we have added some 299 crores of gross block, which is majority of that portion is the construction equipment which we added. So where the phasing out of the old construction equipment, where there is some life which we have considered as and the technology upgradation of all these equipment that has been done strategically. So the year on now, looking into the subsequent years, we would be happy enough that if order is for any of the ordering execution of 20% growth for the company, it should be somewhere around 100 odd crores to be added for next 2 3 years.
Okay, sir. I have more questions. I'll come back into this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Congratulations on the robust performance and on the monetization of HAM projects. Sir, broader questions has been answered. A couple of things just to understand. First is on the have we bidded any of the projects where bid is yet to be open?
Yeah, there are 6 bids where the results are yet to be opened. There are 4 projects of Chambal, and 1 more of NHAI project, or rather 1 more of most projects, and there are 3 projects of railway which are yet to be opened.
So these 6 projects is worth how much, and the railway 3 projects?
So altogether is about 8,000 crores, all 6, 7 HAM projects, and railway projects are of small amount, 300 to 500 crores. So total 8,000 crores.
Okay. Got it. Second is on the recently won projects, 3 HAM projects and Kanpur Central Railway and Bhanupali Bilaspur appointed date. What is the expected deadline?
So that RVNL for this Bilaspur project, they have already has assigned the appointed date of 24th of May. They already released the letter, so that would be on 24th of May. So tomorrow we are signing the agreement, and this is how I think for Kanpur railway station, for sure I think this is going to delay because not more, but at least 2-3 months, because it will take all possible permissions from the nearby authorities where there is majorly utility shifting, electrical, etc.
Okay, so maybe by July, August, we will get the appointed date for Kanpur Central Railway Station.
Probably, as of now.
Sorry?
Yeah, as of now it is like that only, August.
And for 3 HAM projects, Karnal and Varanasi, package 10 and 13?
See, for Karnal, the total land availability as of now is around 90%, and the crop which was sown there now being harvested, the wheat crop, and we are taking the possession of the land. As soon as we complete the land possession by June end, we believe that tentatively by June end or max by July, we would be taking the appointed date by that time.
And for Varanasi package 10 and 13, October, November or December?
Yeah, of course, I think it is post-monsoon only in any case, because the land compensation is being paid to the field owners, and we believe that it is significantly going to improve once this harvesting has already been done. So by October, November, we believe that likely there is a chance where appointed date is like to be declared.
Okay, just a couple of data points in terms of the retention money, mobilization advance, and unbilled revenue as on March.
Right. Unbilled revenue, which is your last point, which is has been increased for this financial year because those 2-3 major developments has been there, where the variation is not yet approved. So if we are talking of the unbilled revenue, which is now 600 something crore, 610 to be rather very specific. So this is how 150 odd crore rupees is in HAM only.
Okay.
And this is over 170 odd crore rupees, which is unbilled in its UER and Delhi Vadodara package 8 and 9. And Adani projects also, now the change is there, where the Ganga Expressway, it's almost 170 odd crore rupees of unbilled is there. But now there is a variation being passed, where the earthwork construction, which was at a different stage, now they have relaxed the payment at not at every 2 meters. Now they have relaxed the payment. So that is how I think within this quarter only we would be getting the significant decrease in the unbilled, because they would be paying us right on the not at that stage, prior to that stage even.
Sorry, sir. Just to clarify, unbilled revenue total is 610 crore. Retention money is how much, and mobilization advance?
580 crore rupees to be very specific. And out of 580 crore rupees, I have given that the HAM projects is around 150 crore rupees. NHI EPC project is 165 crore rupees. One major amount is there by this Ganga Expressway project, which is 170 crore rupees, where it is going to be reduced drastically down, because they have now relaxed the stage payment for all the three contractors like VN, Patel and ITG.
Okay. And retention money and mobilization advance, sir?
Retention money total for this debtor balance is what you are talking is, one is the debtor balance.
No, sir. As on December, it was 190 odd crore retention money. So what's the figure for March?
No, I think the debtor is 735 crore rupees, and 111 crore is retention.
Thank you. Mr. Shah, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. Thank you. We'll take the next question from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my questions, and congratulations on closing the transaction for 4 hybrids, and that too at a pretty good valuation. Sir, just, somewhere in your remarks, you said you're looking... Yeah, sure. Am I audible now?
Yes.
I think initially, in reply to one of the questions, you said you're expecting some number from 1,800 odd crore rupees from 5 hybrid annuities of 3,000 odd crore rupees of balance potential, and you gave us the breakup for some of these other projects. What I realize is, essentially you have not considered any contribution from these 3 hybrids that you've secured recently. So why would that be the case? Because just now you said you would be able to have ADs in place.
Already taken. I think I just forgot about it. That 500 crores of execution we have taken from these HAM projects, the newly awarded HAM projects. 500 crores.
Oh, okay, sure. So which essentially would imply that you're looking at more than 23% kind of growth for the year. On a YOY basis.
Roughly it is around 23%. That's it.
Okay, sure. So thank you. That clarifies. Second question was, if you could talk about competitive intensity. Why I asked this is essentially, you said, you bid for almost around 72,000 odd crore rupee projects in FY23 on NHI side, but we could have only 3 projects worth around 3,000 odd crore rupees, so which is even less than 5% conversion ratio. So how do you see the conversion work for us? In FY24, we were looking at around 5,000 crore rupees of orders on hybrid and 1,500 odd on EPC side from NHI. Do you see competitive intensity to go down now, or it'll remain there and you would have to bid for more to be able to get your numbers in place?
We believe that I think with a new compulsion or triple B rated company, they would be only allowed to bid for HAM project. That is where, and there are many projects which for many other mediocre companies, they are having those projects where the good amount of execution has to be done. So we believe that way. I think nowadays we have seen the trend of about 5 to 7 bidders. Earlier it was 10 to 12 bidders in all the HAM projects. But EPC, for sure, we are putting our finger crossed, but we are expecting that at least some 1,000 to 1,500 crores from, it can be from even Maharashtra State Road Corporation, where they have also called certain EPC projects. So we are looking at those projects as well from EPC line, not only NHI, more some state projects as well, especially Maharashtra.
Sure, sir. Sure. I think that answers my question. I'll come back in the queue for more. Thank you, and all the very best for future.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Nikhil Abhyankar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead. Mr. Abhyankar, your line is in talk mode. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah. Congrats, sir, on a good set of numbers. I've got two questions. So first is on the margins. So, is it the case that you have given the margin guidance conservatively, given the cost prices are coming down, the input pressures are coming down? So, is there any chance as we go along the year, you might our operating margins might surprise us on the upside?
I think that whatever you are saying, the price escalation clause is either way, say positive or negative. So if the prices are going down, then definitely the price escalation which we would be getting would be equivalent to that. So earlier what has happened is because of the steep rise in the commodity of the steel, even especially steel and crude, so it has happened where the dip in the margins which we have seen the past 1.5 years. But now it is almost, I believe, that 16% is 16.25%. That is a decent range which we will be looking upon for our all under execution projects.
Okay. And the other question is on last year there was a lot of talk about government reducing the grants to 20%. So is there any word on that from the ministry?
No, as of now, I think they have not given any signal or that there is going to be reduced, but they have actually touched upon the lenders as well as concessioners' interest across the entire fraternity, that how they look like. They always give a positive response, but definitely it is going to cool down the margins, this competition. So that is how we believe. I think nothing has happened as of now. There was first was this and second was the net worth criteria, but nothing has happened as of now.
And are we pushing from our end to bring the grants down so that the competition?
There are say various series of these kind of meetings and discussion where they and we together at the NHBF forum, where the National Highway Builders Federation, they are all looking to have a conducive arrangement where the project being done with quality, with standards within the timeline, and that is their intention also, and we also are looking into that. So, but I don't know how long it is going to take.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Should you have a follow-up question, we would request you to rejoin the question queue. The next question is from the line of Anupam Gupta from IIFL. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Just have a couple of questions. Firstly, the 530 crore of inflow that is expected from the sale of 4 projects, when do you expect the money to flow into the balance sheet? Should it come in this year or?
Yeah, of course, this year only. So since we have executed already this SP being signed, so now we are going to have the complex compilation and completion of the completion prevalence, where for these 3 projects which we already have completed, so we would be applying to NHAI for getting the NOC from them. It's usual process that they normally take let's say almost 2.5 months for that. So one is the NOC from all the lenders there also, that is one required, and there are certain obligations from either side of both the parties. But then again, by September we believe that this all 3 first tranche, all these 3 projects where the fund can, we believe that should be transferred to our account, and followed by this Rewari package where 6 months is the requirement from the completion date, from the provision completion date. So once we already applied the PCOD. So with that, by August or say October or November, we will be applying to NHAI for the necessary permissions. So by January, we do expect for the second tranche for the 4th project as well.
Okay. Okay. And second question, sir, on the execution side, you have given a guidance of close to 23% growth. Do you see any risk to this from, let's say, the election code of conduct coming in by the end of this year, this calendar year, in terms of approval? So let's say you talked about appointed dates coming through for the new HAM project. So do you see any risk to the execution from the elections being there in multiple states?
You see, I think we have guided upon that the majority of execution is going to be where the appointed date is being declared as of now. So it's just 500 crores of 3 HAM projects, which were the Concall project or Jharkhand 2 projects. So this is only what we have assumed. But we don't see that by December, in any case, the government would be looking into the declaration of the appointed date. I don't see any challenge into that.
Okay. And just continuing this on, so let's say if I were to look into FY25, given that you have 12,500 crore of order book, ideally a 20% growth can be sustained in FY25 as well, or is it a bit high to expect?
Yeah, we do expect that whatever arrangement has been done in the house is for the capex, technology, human resource, and that any addition of the range of 8,000 to 9,000 orders being added during the year, and what we believe that 20% is the ideal growth for that range of execution that we would be aiming for, and that we believe that is all doable, achievable.
Okay, understand. That's all from my side, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Abhinit Anand from Emkay Global Financial Services. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Nidhi. I just wanted to know, you told that you bid for 72,000 crores of...
Sorry? Yeah, Rijit.
Mr. Anand, your audio is breaking. Please check.
Hello. Can you listen?
A bit louder, please.
Yeah, I'm saying that, you told that 72,000 crores.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Your voice is breaking.
Audio is not clear from your line. Request you to please rejoin the question queue.
Your voice is breaking. I think you are not audible at all.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Anand. May we request that you return to the question queue? We'll take the next question from the line of Sarvesh Gupta from Maximal Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir, and congratulations on a good set of numbers. Sir, one thing on the Ganga Expressway, which is where, a lot of your execution will be coming this year. So on the ground situation in terms of, land acquisition and other approvals for the 80% odd remaining, how are we placed? And secondly, in terms of the payments from your counterparty, how is it happening given their own challenges that we had earlier seen?
Yeah. See, this Ganga Expressway, unlike the other projects also, we have experienced the good amount of land available on the day one. So almost 98% as on date, it's all available. So that is a good part. And we have already set up 6 big camps along the alignment where, every 151 kilometer being bifurcated as a 3 project, not a single project. So that is how I think that the big force being deployed as far as the execution is concerned. So we're touching around 6 crore rupees a day as of now. So there's a pace of execution which we are doing. So bearing few of the days where the early, I think, rainy season, rainy days has impacted. So but otherwise, as far as payment is concerned, we are getting payment right on time. It was a gap of about, almost a month or two the initial time in Feb and March. But during the month of April only, we have received 190 crore rupees from the client. And they are very clear and we are very clear because the government, UP government is having a clear guidance and clear instructions to them to complete the project by December 24. So this is how I think for us together, this main target is to achieve. And there almost we have taken the 2,000 crores of execution to be done during the year. So which is the run rate which we are doing is almost doable.
Understood. And secondly, sir, in terms of your cash flows, so I think we are getting around 500 odd crores from the sale. And post-tax, how much it will be? And then against that, again, we have to anyway spend 440 crores in the new HAM projects. And your working capital will also go up. So overall for the year, your interest cost and debt will not sort of come down, right?
No. As far as for the year 24, the repayment of the debt is just around, say, if you see 353 crores of term debt, say out of that 190 crore, including 189 crore, which is inclusive of NCD payment, prepayment. So this is would be repaid during the year only. And if you see anything which is, say, net of tax 531 crore rupees, is going to be calculated because it's first what we have invested and then when the return, actually the amount is being transferred to you. So this is going to be calculated. We are not calculated yet as of now. So ultimately 440 odd crore rupees which is going to be invested into HAM. Hardly it matters that what is the tentative cash inflow coming from HAM monetization.
So overall debt level should remain broadly at the similar level by the end of next financial year?
No, not at all. I think it's going to be drastically come down to around say 350 crore as was the earlier level.
Understood. And what would be of your interest cost because your debt is much lower? So what is the non-interest cost which is included in your financial cost for FY23?
So around 63 crore rupees of total cost, where around say 14-15 odd crore rupees is bank charges, BG commission, etc. And the remaining is the interest cost on the mobilization advance which we have received from the client, even the OD limits and NCD interest and term loan interest cost.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Deepika from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on great set of numbers. My question pertains to the deal. How much inflows do we expect this year? I mean, when the deal executes for these 3 projects that you say would be completed, when will the first tranche be completed, and how do we expect the inflows and in what manner?
So we will be getting the inflows one by one. Say all projects do have a different range of say monetization. So the total enterprise value, which is 1300 something crore, out of this debt, if you take out this 531 crore is the equity realization. So all 4 projects do have a different set of numbers. So once we complete condition precedence for the one project, we will be getting the amount.
So how much by this year only, and how much in the are we expecting something in Q1?
No, Q1 is not at all possible because all NOCs are not going to happen by that time. So we would be getting the arrangement would be done. So we believe that in Q2. Say first tranche and then Q3 or Q4 for the second tranche.
Okay, sir. Also, sir, I want to also talk about the next Q1. So, how do we expect the we are targeting a very strong number for FY24, which looks quite achievable also. But how do we see Q1, especially when now it's being affected with the heavy monsoons across different geographies in our country?
Yeah, I think in April we have experienced rains across the entire country and most of the projects got impacted because of that execution. In March even it got impacted, otherwise say we have lost 150 crores of execution in March as well. But I don't see much of a challenge. I think as we are expecting the 23% year or this in quarter to quarter again for last year to this year would be growing on that range.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shreyansh Mehta from Equirus. Please go ahead.
Yeah, congratulations on a great set of numbers and for the deal. So my 2 questions. One, as far as the monetization is concerned, could we see some deals happening at the pre-construction stage now, given that, we are getting better deals at this time?
No, it's not like that. I think there are always inclination from any potential buyer to enter into such stage. But we always believe that it is better to initiate your discussion once we are nearing your completion. And that is how I think 6, 7, 8 months when we actually complete the work and by that time actually technical due diligence and everything happens. So this is not the right stage which we are not actually as after initiated, and we don't believe that we are expecting for these 5 projects which are under execution that from March till say October, November, these all 5 would be completed next year, say 24. So the right time for that is say from January onward we will be putting on to the market or the buyers that this is going to happen. And this is how I think whatever is important is that not at the pre-construction or at this construction stage.
Got it. Sure. And sir, besides railways and waters, are we targeting any other segment like say MMLPs or ropeways?
Yeah, of course, ropeways we are exploring. We have already had few consultants to give a deep detailed insight of all these projects where the operation and maintenance is a big number which is going to be there. So, but again, our business development team is working on it because I think in Parvatmala project like Bharatmala, it's Parvatmala. They have given this name. So they are exploring the possibility for at least say 300 to 400 odd crores of ropeway to be awarded in next 2-3 years. So it gives a real opportunity. And tunnel also, we expect that in border roads organization and many of the organizations they are looking upon it. But we would be already say it's all highway projects rather in tunnel, even in railway. But we move into this particular sector as well to just tie up with any of the JV partners.
Okay, sure. And so lastly, just wanted to understand the secret of our, the margins which we are making. So we are at the higher end of, what the industry is making. So sir, what gives us this confidence that we'll be able to manage, and how are we managing that, in terms of the industry margins?
I think it's not very specific around. So there are many areas we worked upon, and the God is so kind that in the last 5 years, once we entered into this market, we have learned a lot, we have improvised upon, we have always try to evolve upon, say, any practices. It can be technology, digitalization, it can be human resource, capex addition, key equipments being added. So there's somehow the things are being arranged or being worked out in that range. So as I already expressed that so God is so kind, and we are actually yielding this kind of results. But the team is quite motivated. This is more important. The entire team, top to bottom, at the project level also has totally geared up to look into all the MIS and process controls. They are working hard on bang on those targets right from time to even operational efficiency. So these are all helping us. And there are likely, it's not that there is a total arrangement being done. So there are like, we always keep on annual operating plan to be rolling. So we always keep on certain targets for any technology to any human resource learning and development and mentoring. So this, I think things are happening quite well, and we believe that this is a continuous process. It's not that we have achieved attained any level of it.
Got it. Sure, sir. And sir, lastly, if I can, in terms of datas, what could be outstanding of the total datas, the Adani datas for our Ganga Expressway?
Adani datas, I already said that is a 290 crore to be very specific. Out of this, we received 189 crore rupees during the month of April. And say this now May, they will be paying us 110 crore rupees tomorrow on Monday. So things are rolling.
Got it. Sure, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Chinmay from MK Global Financial Services. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. I just had a question. In roads, we have bid for 72,000 worth of NHI projects. Just wanted to know what is the amount for railways and water?
For this particular year? I couldn't get your question. Yeah, please.
In FY23, how many orders have we bid for in railways and water segment?
Okay. So in railways or metro or any of those, I think we bidded for almost 9,000 odd crores, where 1,000 odd crores of bid yet to be open. So 8,000 crores being bid already opened, and in railways, it is metro even, so 3 projects we bidded. And in water, only 4 projects we bidded, 5 in fact. So it's from UP and let's say MP and Rajasthan. Not a very big amount, so almost 1,600 crores of the total project which we bidded last year.
All right, sir. And one more question. In order to reach 20 to 25% of order book in terms of railway and water, do we have any expectation or any target in terms of how many orders would we like to bid upon?
So you are looking for the forthcoming year?
Yes, for FY24.
Yeah, sure. I think it's more important for us. We have already arranged that the business development unit has been created, where the 2 experts, they are exploring the opportunity lying in this area So we are doing all our due diligence to bid for those projects. So with a small caution, we always just put our fingers crossed and look for the margins intact. That is how I think 20-25% is not a big number which we will be looking upon of the total orders by end of 25 or 26. The total orders are from the beyond the highway projects.
Okay, sir. Those were my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question. So the first thing you said that you are planning to bid for this 50,000 crore project. So this will include station redevelopment projects also, or it will be exclusively station redevelopment projects?
No, it's not that the station projects. Of course, I think within say next 3, 4, 5 months, once we have already started the design of this particular project, because there's a lump sum EPC. So once we start that, and then we will be looking at the comparison which we are estimated at the pre-bid stage. But then again, we will start exploring. There are bids, but we will be taking a pause of about 3, 4 months once we actually come up to the right expectations, what we have estimated and what includes the design post bid.
Sir, one more thing I want to ask. Like last year, we had a big fat order from Adani, and we, as you said, that NHAI awarding was aggressive, and we could not, capitalize on that. So if this year, being the election year, we expect some code of conduct from the January and then other state elections. So how are we targeting to recoup the order inflow? Because railways have saved us last year, and if you remove Adani, a big fat order, roads has been a dampener in terms of inflows in FY23. So how do we see that? Like if you don't get the orders, then probably your guidance can, there is a derail on the guidance part. So any thought on that?
See, already we have learned from NHAI that there are almost 2,300 kilometers of bids which they could not award during this financial year of 25 March. So this pipeline is going to be continued. We're bidding from June onwards. So right now I think there's a shuffle. And then again, there is again NHAO, so NHO rather. There are the projects where there are the huge opportunities likely to come, where the sanctions are already at the appraisal stage. So it's, by January, if you see, that every time it's the second half of the year, there's eventually 70% of the bids or 70% of awarding being done, 70 to 80. Now this year, I think it will continuity will be there in from quarter 2, 3.
But this time we can see that slow down now because election.
So January is I think almost 7, 8 months from now. So by that time, I think most of the bids would be awarded.
This NHO is what is the opportunity NHO, you said?
It's again like Bharatmala, like it is a National Highway Development Program, NHDB. NHO is some scheme of that Bharatmala, other than Bharatmala.
It's the last question. What was the mobilization advance as in March?
Mobilization advance? 360 odd crore rupees, I think.
360. Okay, sir. That's it from my side. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, just to get the number right, retention money you said 111 odd crore as on March and mobilization advance is 360 crore.
Mobilization advance is not 360, it's 328 to be 328, no? 58.
358, out of which mobilization is 304 and material advance is 54 crore.
Okay. Yeah, 360, correct, 359. And the debtor is 703 crore rupees, and retention and miscellaneous deposit that will be held. So we have already has considered into debtor balance. It's total 880 crore rupees, 879.
Sorry, I am slightly confused. So total debtors is 872 crore. Total debtor is 871 crore. So out of that, how much is retention money?
9 out of that 111 is retention money. The amount is also there, 67 crore rupees. So with that amount, we all usually consider in the debtor balance because it is a rolling amount which is being released and being deducted from most of the running bills.
Okay, okay. And sir, what would be the capex for the 24 and 25?
So tentatively, as I already has discussed, is about say 100 crore rupees to be added during the year, this year. This is a net of capex. Actually, there are few equipments which we would be selling during the year as well. This 30 crore rupees. So net capex addition would be 100 crore rupees.
Okay, got it. And sir, any idea you initially mentioned in terms of the NHAI launching a second phase of Bharatmala? Any idea when they are likely to launch, and any broader idea in terms of the size? Because Bharatmala phase 1 when started with 6 lakh odd crore increased to 11-12 lakh odd crore. So any broader idea? So just to trying to understand in terms of the next 4, 5, 7, 8 years visibility.
No, I think it's a very early stage to comment upon, but definitely the entire proposal is at the approval stage from the government, and we believe that as government is having a very priority focus on infra development, especially highways, so they will be looking into this proposal and approve this proposal by the end of this year.
Okay, okay. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shikhar Mundra from Commercial. Please go ahead.
So, hello. I wanted to understand for the 4 subsidiaries which we have sold a stake, what was the equity of those subsidiaries and what was the debt?
The equity is 343 crore rupees in all 4 HAM SPVs.
Okay.
The debt it's 996.
And so what is the okay? So whole enterprise value was 1394 crores. And what is the amount?
This 1393. It's 133 crore rupees. This is the cash lying in the SPV, which is being netted off from the debt.
Okay, so this 99. Okay, so the debt is 990.
It is 860 odd crore rupees and 531 crore rupees.
Okay, so basically the book value of these projects was 343. The equity value was 343 crore, and we are getting a 531 crore equity value. So is it a other income of basically around 200 crores?
It's not other income. This is a return on value. It is a valuation which we are getting. That is return on equity which we have invested in these 4 HAM projects over a period of last 3.5 years.
Yeah. So it's basically a 200 crore of income which is generated by the sale.
Of course. It's 180. Yeah. It's almost 190 crore rupees, which is over and above investment. 31.
Okay. All right. And what do you mean by the valuation of the deal was 1.55 price to book?
1.5 times. 1.5 is the valuation. Means if you see to the number 531 divided by 343, it is coming at 1.55. 1.55.
And out of these 4 projects, like how many of them were completed?
Say all 3 of those projects which we at the tranche 1 we are aiming and looking for the payment to come, all completed. 4th one we already applied the completion, most likely within the say week 10 days we will be getting the completion of that. That is a provisional completion. There is some work of COS and some of the work main scope where 6% to be executed within the next 6 months. Suppose that we would be looking at the second tranche of this particular Rewari bypass project, where the payment is likely by January we would be completing.
Okay. And the construction was done by our company only, right?
Of course, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mundra. May we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take the last question from the line of Khushbu Gandhi from Yes Securities. Please go ahead. Ms. Gandhi, your line is in talk mode. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. So just a clarification on the revenue guidance which you gave for FY24. So you quoted that 22 to 23% growth we are expecting. But when you give us the bifurcation, it's coming to approx 18 to 19%. So we are expecting a revenue of 5,200 crores in FY24.
It's 5,200 and then 500 I missed, and it is roughly around 5,500 crores, which is 23-24% of the total.
Okay, so, if you don't mind, can you give me the clarification again, the bifurcation again?
No. See, the breakup which I already has given for the HAM projects under execution HAM projects, new HAM projects, Ganga Expressway projects, NHA EPC projects. This is altogether which is coming for the year, the FY24 is roughly around 5,500 to 5,600.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you. We had a successful year and we are committed to deliver better with our dedication and hard work in the future. Our strong financial performance, diverse order book growth, healthy balance sheet and dedicated workforce give us the confidence that we will continue to excel. We appreciate everyone joining us today on the call and hope that we have addressed your all questions. If you have any further queries, please do not hesitate to reach out to us or our IR advisor, Go India Advisors. Thank you again for your participation.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Go India Advisors, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.